Welcome back, everybody. We have just finished watching Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm Bladen. That's Joe. We have committed ourselves to rewatching everything in the MCU in preparation for Avengers Secret Wars. I'm going to give it to Joe. He's going to do a quick synopsis of the film. And then
what you were gonna
we'll get into the review.
You forgot what you were going to say, didn't you? We're very professional here, in case you couldn't tell. Like, everything.
Can we be slightly professional?
We'll get scripts soon, and they'll go out to all our actors and the director and everything. So,
AKA me and you for everything.
Yeah, exactly. After the events of Civil War, Peter Parker becomes infatuated with the idea of being a part of the Avengers. As Tony Stark attempts to distance Peter from the dangers of the superhero life, Peter continues to try to find more things to do as Spider-Man. Spider-Man Homecoming premiered in Hollywood, Los Angeles on June 28, 2017, and was released in the United States on July 7th. So, hot takes.
Excuse me. My hot take for this movie is it is not as bad as everybody says it is. I actually like this movie.
It's weird because I was going to say it's worse than people say it is, because most of the people that I know say they really like this movie.
A lot of people I know say they hate it.
Okay, so we got two different sides on this, but...
So, here's what I think we should do to start, because of our hot takes. You explain why you think it's a bad movie, I'll explain why I think it's a good movie.
Well, I don't think there's more than like one or two side characters that I actually enjoy in this movie. I feel like most of the characters are not well done. They're very flat, bland, and not engaging in the ways that they should be. Like, I'll get into it later, but Flash as the bully, the actor they chose, awful choice. I think the way he plays them is absolutely crap. Like, there's nothing good in his role as Flash. And just a lot of characters felt like that for me. Like, I don't think that this is a bad movie per se, but for the characters that they're supposed to be portraying and the story they're supposed to be portraying, it's not done well. Like, and part of my hot take is also, I think the Spider-Man parts of this Spider-Man movie are awful up until the final fight. Well,
okay.
Maybe not awful, but they're not great up until the final fight.
I like this movie because it shows a very different, but yet really comic accurate version of the Spider-Man mythos. Because in the original run of Spider-Man, like at least the first 30 issues, Uncle Ben is maybe mentioned once, and is like left as a footnote.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
No.
Because the original run, bro, I've read it like 8 times. He's a main character in the first 2 issues.
No, he's not.
We'll go up to my collection and I'll give you the reprints that you can see. Because literally, he's in the first issue. He's brought up
Amazing Fantasy. Yeah.
He's brought up like 2 or 3 times,
and he dies in Amazing Fantasy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the second issue is kind of like him dealing with the grief of it, and then it goes into the villain story arc after that. Like, it doesn't just end, because essentially the whole first issue is centered around Uncle Ben's death. The second issue, which is Dr. Octopus? No.
Chameleon.
Is Chameleon the second? No, it's the Fantastic Four. He tries to get
exactly, and that's a part of my point, because what happens in the original run of Spider-Man, the first 30 issues of Amazing Spider-Man, Uncle Ben, he dies, and that's what inspires Peter to go on to become Spider-Man. But it's more than
one issue.
Like, no, I'm saying he doesn't get mentioned a lot in those original issues. Like, he gets mentioned, I think, he's mentioned in Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
He's mentioned in...
And he's a character in it.
Yeah, he's mentioned in the first issue of Spider-Man, and then he only ever comes up again in Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1.
You're still wrong, because Aunt May brings him up just about every time she shows up.
Not really.
For the first 5 issues, I want to say. But, again, it's done in a way where he's not the focus, because Aunt May is not the focus of the story. So
I'm not saying Uncle Ben's not focus, but he's still not brought up a lot.
Yeah.
In those original issues.
Either way.
He only became like a real. What I'm trying to say is that in those original comics, he drew less inspiration from Uncle Ben to become the superhero, and he drew more inspiration from the Fantastic Four. Literally, there's a moment in one of the Amazing Spider-Man issues where he's considering giving up on being Spider-Man, and instead of having a vision of Uncle Ben in his dreams to convince him to go back to being Spider-Man.
That part I do agree with. He doesn't
hears
need
a
that.
speech from Johnny Storm, a member of the Fantastic Four, and that's what inspires him to become...
to keep going.
As Spider-Man.
Yeah, and that's the Dr. Octopus.
And that's a very different side of Spider-Man that we hadn't seen with the Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield movies, because they were obviously separated, and he was the only superhero in those universes.
Yeah.
In their respective universes.
That part, I don't agree with you for this specific movie, because he's not trying to get rid of Spider-Man. Spider-Man is not the burden.
No, I'm just saying, like,
movie.
he gets more inspiration from
other
heroes other than Uncle Ben.
Yeah. But to say it's more comic accurate.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
more comic accurate. I'm saying it depicts a very specific flavor from the comics that we never got before.
There you go.
And I appreciate it for that. Because in Tobey Maguire's original movie, he's in high school for maybe 10 seconds.
I mean, you get graduation scene, you get the bully scene, you get him chasing the bus. Yeah. It's the first 20 minutes of the movie, really.
Yeah, maybe the first 20.
It's pretty decent.
But then in the Amazing Spider-Man film, you get him in high school for the entirety of his first film, and then he graduates in the second. Yeah. But in the original comics, it's 30 issues of him in high school. It's a very important period in the Spider-Man timeline, and I also like how they don't introduce characters who are not supposed to be in high school. Yeah. Like, Liz Allen is an integral part to comic book Peter Parker in high school. He didn't know Gwen in high school. He didn't know Harry in high school.
Though, honestly, if you look at it that way, Betty Brant is technically a more impactful character than Liz Allen is in the first 30 issues.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm also saying...
Then they put her as I would say freshman compared to his senior. Well, no, he's not even a senior in this one. So
no, I think him and Betty are in the same grade.
Are they supposed to be? She looks
because she goes on the
maybe
the
she's just a much younger looking actress, but she looks.
I mean, Tom Holland looks real young in it. He looks younger than me.
No, I'm not saying that he doesn't look young, but I'm saying comparatively, if you look at Tom Holland and her, she looks like she's like 5 years younger than him. Like, just saying. Like,
yeah, I just appreciate the different angle they took with this movie. Yeah. That's why I think it's underrated when compared to, like, obviously other movies like the Tobey and Andrew movies, because those movies came out and then immediately this one got scrutinized because it didn't do the same thing that they did, and that's the point. They were trying to do something different, and I appreciate them taking that big swing and giving us this very specific type of Spider-Man.
Again. Just saying. I'm going to point it out every time you use it. Because...
Well, here's the thing.
He's right there.
He is right there. We never did that Zoom joke in the episode.
No, I know, you never did it. You never did it.
Well, we couldn't see
We didn't
him.
do a thing counter for that episode even, like, but...
We gave up on that bit before it started.
Yeah, I told you. You didn't even start it, and you were like, yeah, it's too much.
No.
But, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I don't agree. Like, I do appreciate that it is setting itself apart from the Tobey and Andrew movies, but for me personally, I would say it's only an okay movie. I wouldn't say it's a good movie.
No, I would agree with that, but I do think it is overhated.
And again, the circles that I talk to, a lot of people say they love this one. So
we just come from
two different circles, giving us
us
input, and we both took the opposite from the people that.
Yeah, well, I feel like if I was around people saying this movie is the greatest thing of all time, or even like it's a great movie, I would agree with you. And I'm sure if you were around people who said like, "Oh, this movie's the worst thing ever," you would agree with me. Yeah, it shows the difference between like even with stuff like comic book canon. Yeah, that's very specific to the person. Like, if you've read this issue, your canon of a character is going to be different from someone who read these issues. Yeah. It's like. Everything is personal.
Even the canon of the comics isn't always working retroactively.
Yeah, like
Mary Jane knowing that Peter Parker was Spider-Man before they even enter a relationship. Yeah. Like, that didn't even work through the story.
Yeah.
But
Until
people
way
accepted
later.
it.
Yeah.
People accepted it as canon because they liked it.
Yep.
Which I don't always have a problem with,
Yeah.
but at the same time, yeah, no. It doesn't have to be 100% canon.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, it's a good movie. It's okay.
I agree.
It's okay.
I agree. It's a good movie. It's good.
Yeah. I think I'll leave my ranking till later. I was about to say where I would put it on the list, but I'll wait until later to say that. If you could change things about this, would you? And what would you change?
Yeah, I would change things about this movie. If I were to change this, it would change the entirety of the MCU. Replace Iron Man with the Fantastic Four. I know you wouldn't be able to do that because, like, obviously the Fantastic Four weren't introduced up until this point. But if you did replace them with the Fantastic Four, the allegory for those early comics would work so much better. Like, even in this image, Baxter building in the background, either the humans...
The Fantastic Four ship in the background.
Or, like, even just the Human Torch would work.
Yeah, no, that would be an interesting way to do it.
Could you imagine if Spider-Man Homecoming is the movie that introduced the Fantastic Four to the MCU?
Honestly, I wouldn't have minded that. But
I mean, Avengers Tower is being sold.
At this point, it's Fox still.
Yeah.
This is before the merger. This is technically the third company to be working on MCU movies because this is Sony, not Disney.
Yeah, you had Paramount, then it was Disney.
Paramount up until, what was it? Winter Soldier, so they did The Dark World.
No, up till Iron Man 3.
No, I thought Paramount still did. No, you're right. So Disney did Thor: The Dark World.
Oh, Universal, The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the fourth.
Okay, so yeah, Sony's the fourth company to make MCU movie.
Fantastic Four. It's all connected.
It would have worked. But that would have been an interesting.
Just have Chris Evans be the Human Torch in this one for no reason. Could you imagine if, like, Michael B. Jordan was the Human Torch?
You get the Fox Fantastic Four.
You get the Fan Four Stick Fantastic Four.
No. MCU would have gone down a lot faster if that happened.
That movie had potential to
it did. But I mean, so do most superhero movies. They kind of all do. But that would be an interesting thing to change.
Yep.
For me, I would have changed a lot of the casting. I didn't like Ned. I didn't like Mary Jane. Which Michelle Jones, whatever you want to call her. I know she's not Mary Jane, but she's Mary Jane because that's what they call her.
I've seen a theory.
I saw a theory
that
Flash.
Michelle Jones is somehow related to Jessica Jones, and I'm like, that doesn't
That's
work.
That's so bad. But yeah, I didn't like Flash. I didn't like Liz. I didn't like Betty Brant's casting. Mainly because of what I said before, where Betty Brant is supposed to be older than Peter, and then they cast someone who looks like 10 years younger than him. Like, I have a problem with that, just a little bit, but they don't do the same storyline, so obviously it's not as big an issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's only like a couple of characters that I actually like in this movie, and it's Tony, Happy, sometimes Tom Holland Spider-Man, the Vulture, and then the Vulture's tech guy. That's like the only characters that I like throughout this whole movie.
I'm a curious person by nature. I know this.
You know I'm curious. Why were you on my phone, man? Your wife was texting you.
Your wife was texting you. Something about a break play? I don't...
Yeah, but yeah, I would have changed
something about you flirting with teenage boys all the time. Okay.
But yeah,
we're gonna gloss over that whole joke.
Should we gloss over that joke? That might make it seem worse.
Okay, so while we were watching this movie, we got to the scene where Peter is getting introduced to Michael Keaton's Vulture, and we were making jokes about Peter Parker and the Vulture getting together because of how awkward that scene was.
If you look at that scene through a different lens, it takes on a completely different meaning.
I mean,
it looks very weird for the rest of the movie from that point on when you have that joke going on. But it made the end of the movie feel much different and very strange. But that did not affect it. I had my judgments before we made those jokes.
If anything, those jokes made the movie better.
Yes, they probably did bring it up a little bit on my list. Do you like when this was released timeline-wise?
Yeah, I think it came out at a pretty good time. I would have liked if it had come out maybe directly after Civil War
That's what I
to
was
tie
gonna say.
in better, because like the events of this movie do happen directly after Civil War.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fine.
Oh, and something to touch on, just we recorded Iron Fist earlier this week. This is the movie that came out during the Iron Fist time.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
just as a quick side note.
So these came out around the same time as each other.
Yeah.
Which that's what I tried to do when I put the shows with what would be releasing, so it looked like it was in order of when it would have.
But we made comments during the Iron Fist episode, so I just wanted to say, for those of you who watch both series, maybe you're interested. And if you're not, now you have a little bit of incentive to watch the other series. But
go watch, check it out.
But
it's fun time.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think if you were going to have a break, maybe Guardians 2, then Homecoming, and then Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that would have worked.
That lineup would have been.
Or even you could have had Doctor Strange come out before Civil War, then Spider-Man: Homecoming, then Guardians 2.
Yeah. It could have been earlier. That's what we're both saying.
Could have been before Civil War.
Not with the same Civil War, but
well,
with my Civil War it could have. But
yep.
CGI. How do you think the CGI holds up?
It's
there's high points and there's low points.
Yes, when Peter is just like hanging out in the Spider-Man suit. Like I think of the scene where he's on top of Liz's roof. That the suit looks good.
Yeah.
Or even when he's sitting on the jungle gym at the park after he got rescued by Tony. The suit looks good. But I don't know, for some reason whenever he's in like daylight,
something about
the way it like
the
shines, it just doesn't work.
Also, the second part of the opening scene when it's got the
suitcase opens up.
The suitcase opens up, and then when he's wearing that suit, it looks really weird. It doesn't look the same as it does in Civil War, and it's possible they weren't able to use the same assets, and they were trying to make
in Civil War they made a practical, like fully practical suit, and then for some reason they CGI'd over the whole thing to make it a completely different suit.
Yeah,
which sucks because that was a really good looking suit. I don't know if you've ever seen like
I've seen it pictures. Before. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't remember.
They have the original Ditko Spider on there instead of those square shaped one.
But yeah, that one stood out to me, and as you said, in the daylight, the CGI suit looks weird. Like it doesn't look right. Yeah. But I think the final fight scene looks fantastic.
Yeah, and when he's got his practical suit on.
Every scene with the Vulture looks really good.
Do you know why it looks so good? Because they allowed the suit to have wrinkles.
Yeah.
When his suit, when he's like on the plane, you can see it billowing in the wind. It has the same effect as the TASM 2 suit.
Yeah.
But
it's a hoodie.
I think it's meant to be because it's Stark tech. It's like skin tight. It doesn't have any of that, but it makes the suit look worse.
Yeah. It doesn't look like.
Or even when he's inside of the vault, the suit looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. And that scene is a pretty bright scene, so
I don't know.
But yeah, there's high points, there's low points. Out of curiosity, what did you think of the Iron Man suit in this one? Where it's got the silver.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice nod to the Ultimate Universe, especially because they definitely did take a little bit of inspiration from the Ultimate Universe while making this movie. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
It looks like a half-done suit, which I do kind of like, because maybe
like Peter was in the middle of painting it or something, and was like, "Jarvis, get it out the door, like we're going," kind of thing.
Yeah, like, oh no, Peter needs our help.
Yeah, something simple like that would have been an interesting dynamic, but I did like it. And it's, let's see, Homecoming is the last time we see Iron Man before Infinity War, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that would mean at this point he's switching on nanotech, which would mean he would have very few operational suits So
Yeah.
it makes sense when you think of it that way too. But yeah, I like the suit a lot in this one. For Iron Man. But yeah, overall, it was very inconsistent for the CGI for this one. Like there was really good scenes, and then there was really bad. But the mic turn off.
Both of them are dead.
Oh no! How long? You're not.
We
even...
didn't plug it in.
Well, that explains why they're not on. Well,
we're just gonna have a non-mic episode then, because you guys have been listening to it. I'm so.
I can't believe we forgot to plug it in. Well,
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. All right.
Well, it's not the first time we've done a non-mic episode. We'll just speak up a little bit louder and try and be a little bit more vocal. Whoops.
Didn't we do a mic test?
We did do a mic test, and
what happened?
You must have just been listening to the regular microphone audio. We didn't even plug them in. Oh well.
Whatever.
Technical. Hey, it's our first major technical issue that we've had so far.
Yeah, except for the camera just starting.
Well, the camera starting is not a
it's not a big deal. All right, let's get back to the movie.
Characters. Do you think they were consistent?
Yeah, I thought they were consistent. I didn't like.
We got Happy, Tony, and Peter.
Spider-Man.
So
yeah.
So
Pepper.
Pepper shows up for a little bit. Yeah, and I mean, for the 2 seconds she's on screen, she's consistent.
Yeah. So all the characters we've seen before are consistent.
Yeah.
And all the characters we see now are consistent with their characters, but you just don't like how the characters were portrayed.
See, that's where I'll disagree a little bit later. I think Zendaya's Mary Jane gets better as time goes on.
Well, we're just talking about in this movie.
Yes, for this movie,
she's consistent.
She's consistent through the movie, yeah. But that'll be something I guess I'll bring up in a bit. Personal best performance. Do you think there was a? Tom
gives a really good performance. I know you don't like some of the stuff in it,
yeah.
but you can't deny he is a phenomenal actor, especially in a couple of these scenes, like the scene where he's lifting the machinery.
Yeah,
that's a great display of acting. Where he's he's interrogating the guy. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, Donald Glover as Aaron Davis.
I need to know where they're going.
I'm a boy.
I mean a man.
I'm a man.
Karen, don't ever let me do that again. That was so stupid.
But
and we get a Prowler nod too.
Yes, we got Prowler. Technically, not even a nod because it is Aaron Davis.
He
says he has a nephew.
Well, he doesn't.
He even mentions climbing gear.
Yeah.
When he's looking at the weapons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I mean, there's a deleted post-credit scene where he calls Miles and is like, "I can't make it to whatever he was like doing."
Yeah. But end credit scene. Speaking of, and this one, some of the worst we got from MCU in my personal opinion. The first one is Vulture in prison, walking past Scorpion, which, I mean, it might get better with Brand New Day because now we finally actually have Scorpion in the movie.
But Vulture's in the Sony universe.
Yeah, technically, for about 5 seconds of that. Because it's only in an end credit scene there that he's in the Sony verse.
Well, isn't he wearing like a lab coat in the movie for something?
So he shows up at the end of the Morbius, and it's an end cutscene, and he shows up in the full Vulture suit to talk to Morbius.
No, but I thought there was a scene in Morbius where you see him, but it's like he's just wearing like a lab coat. I'm pretty sure we get him in the movie somewhere.
No, because the end scene is him showing up in the prison cell.
No, I know that.
No, but I'm saying, like, that's when it starts. That's the only time you see him, is the end scene, and he shows up in the prison cell, Michael Keaton's Vulture, and then it's, like, the convergence or whatever they called it in No Way Home, and then...
It wasn't a prison cell.
He's in his prison uniform. It's not a prison cell. You're right. But then...
I thought he was in, the full Vulture gear.
No, he's in the prison cell. He's in the prison cell before he gets to Morbius universe, whatever.
Yeah.
But he's wearing prison uniform. He's not wearing white. He's wearing orange.
This movie.
Oh, in this movie. No. In this movie, yeah, they are wearing white, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's inconsistencies there too. I thought you were saying in Morbius he was
No,
wearing white.
in Morbius, I'm pretty sure there's a scene in the movie where you see Michael Keaton wearing a lab coat, and it's not explained. And then by the end of the movie, he shows up in the full Vulture gear with Morbius, like, driving a car and stops him. And it's like, I'm putting together a team.
I mean, you didn't even watch Morbius, so I doubt you remember it very well.
Well,
but he does show up in full Vulture gear in the Morbius end scene. Yeah, but
it's Morbius time.
At some point we'll watch it because technically that one's more connected than Madam Web is. So we'll have to watch Morbius at some point.
I'm not watching Morbius.
You're gonna have to watch it at least one time. For me, it'll be like my third time watching it, unfortunately. But we'll get to that, and I have some interest.
I don't have it on the schedule, so I don't know where we're gonna fit it in.
Well, it'll be probably after Doomsday, someplace, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But anyways, the other end credit scene is Captain America saying, "Sometimes you wait for nothing." Why not put that one first to make a joke of it, rather than make it the last one when you've already waited 5 minutes for the credits to end? Like, very frustrating, kind of degrading to your audience, if I'm
I thought
being
it was
honest.
funny.
It's a little bit funny, but not when you made it the last scene where you've already sat through 5 minutes of credits to watch this scene. Like, that's like, oh, wait for this. And then every time you tell someone, wait for this, and then you finally get to something and you're like, oh, I'm glad you waited. It was nothing. Like, yeah, come on, really?
Or even with some movies, I've done this before, where, like, my whole family has taken me to see, like, a Marvel movie. And I'm like, guys, we can't leave yet. And they're like, why? And I'm like, well, there's an end credit scene. And they're like, what? And I'm like, just wait. And then there's no end credit scene. And they're like, are you crazy? What are you talking about?
Why? But, yeah, so...
And then I scream in the car.
But, yeah, so both end credit scene... pretty rough for this movie. But yeah, so where would you rank this movie?
We're already on the ranking?
Yeah.
Are you sure there aren't any other questions? We're already at the ranking.
We went through good movie. Would you change things? Do you like when it was released timeline-wise? CGI? Character consistency? Best performance? End credit scene? Ranking.
Wow, we blew through that. Okay.
I mean, we haven't gone to the thoughts yet.
Okay, yeah.
But I have a lot of thoughts written down.
I would rank this a B tier movie.
Okay, so here's my question.
Maybe mid B.
Mid B? I was thinking low B. Like,
so mid B would be behind Iron Man 3 and above Ant-Man.
I would watch Ant-Man again for sure.
Would you watch Iron Man 2?
I think so.
I'm willing to put it behind
Ant-Man. I think I would put Iron Man 2 above Spider-Man Homecoming.
I don't think I would.
Okay. You can put it above Iron Man 2. You've given me enough that I'll give you this one.
Yeah, I've given you enough.
Some point we'll get to a gauntlet round and we'll be like, no, this one gets nothing from you.
Silence from you.
But yeah, so right below or right above Iron Man 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with that. It's not so much for me.
For the total, I'm also putting it above Luke Cage.
Oh, so. Okay. For those of you who are watching the show ones, but I think you put up the ones with the show mixed in too. So.
Yeah. All right, so it is still a mid tier B. So.
Yeah. It's not the middle of the road.
It's a little lower.
It's just a little lower.
Which I think, that's where this movie belongs.
Yeah. But so, any other thoughts?
They had a lot of potential with the suit.
I definitely agree. Of all the things that I wrote about, I was trying not to write about the suit, and I was like, there's so many other things that I complain about.
If you just get rid of the black lines and the visible web shooters. Actually, you could have kept the visible web shooters.
You could have kept the
Just get
visible
rid of the
web
black
shooters.
lines.
You know what I think would have actually made the suit better is to lean into the Ben Reilly design and make the spider huge on his chest. If you did that, I think the black lines would have matched better.
Well, that's sort of... Well, yeah, if you were to include the black lines, but I like the smaller logo because...
Yeah, no. I'm just saying if you want the black lines, make and the spiders
that's kind of what we get in the Iron Spider suit, because that's not the Iron Spider logo, that's the Ben Reilly logo.
Yeah.
With the big over-the-shoulders into the back.
Yeah.
But I like the smaller logo, because in the comics, he does usually have, it's a smaller logo.
Tiny.
And in most of the movies before this, like the first Sam Raimi movie, it was a smaller logo.
Yeah.
But then you
Long legs, but small logo.
Yeah, but then you get the Spider-Man 2, and he's got like the bigger one that goes like down to here. And then in the Amazing Spider-Man, it's like all the way down his chest, which I do like that. But yeah. I like the allusion to the early comics where you have the smaller logo.
The small spider is definitely good, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to have like the black
lines, if you want to have that seamed in,
give the spider a big.
You can't give him a small spider logo and then just have all these random black accents throughout the suit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I also like how the webs look in this movie.
I like some of the times, but I feel like the damage control facility, I feel like the webs look really bad in that scene.
I liked it in that scene. Like the web grenade when it shot out like that.
The web grenade was good, but the rest of them weren't. Like when they're sitting there, it looked very static, and like spider webs are not ever static. Like the smallest bit of air is blowing spider webs. Like,
well, I mean, again, they're heavier. They're
I mean, admittedly, but like they show it when he's using the different webs. When Karen's like giving him that, which is another problem I'll get into in a bit.
You don't like the AI?
I do not like the AI at all.
I agree.
I feel like it was thrown in to be an exposition machine a little bit, and it was not necessary.
The glowing thing's a bomb.
Like he couldn't have figured that out some other way while he's literally taking tech from Vulture, like. Have Vulture throw a piece that looks identical to that or something, and then he's like, "Oh, that's a bomb!" Like, so Ned needs to get rid of that kind of thing.
How do you feel about Spider-Man destroying landmarks in pretty much every single one of these movies? I mean, you have
speaking of landmarks,
you have the Washington Monument in this movie, and then in Far From Home, you have the London Bridge, right?
Yeah.
And then in the third movie, you have the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I mean, the Statue of Liberty, technically, he doesn't destroy the Statue of Liberty. He only destroys the addition to the Statue of Liberty. So it's a little bit less.
I hate that. Why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, but, speaking of the monument, the scene where she's like, "Oh, I don't like this. I'm protesting because it's built by slaves." Took me 2 minutes to look up that it was donations and volunteer work that built it for 2 parts. They had 6 or 7 years. Don't even.
I'm cutting that out. No, I'm not.
They had. Okay, I'll put it a different way. They had 6 or 8 years, where there was first part, and it was completely donations and volunteer work. Then it was a second part where it was like 8 years. And it was done by, I think I have the name written down, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineer. Meaning there was no slaves that worked on this. It was literally everyone got paid or were volunteers. Took me 2 minutes to look that up. Like, why put misinformation about a landmark, of all things? Like, just something that irritates me.
Yeah. And they do that with a lot of stuff with MJ's character in this movie. She does get better throughout the movies.
No, she
but like especially with better, like
but in this movie I hated her.
Even like at Homecoming when Peter walks in and for
no
reason she gives him the finger.
It's like, these are my only friends. Get out of here. Like, what? Come on! Like, you have no one who likes you according to your own character, and you're trying to be aggressive.
Yeah, and then she calls them losers.
And Peter, like, I don't know. But I'll try not to be too negative. I'll bring up a couple things that I do like about this movie. I like the school being the spot where they mention the Sokovia Accords rather than like a news report or something. I think the school is obviously a spot that they would bring that
for sure.
situation up. But yeah, I thought that was cool. I wish they had kind of given a little bit more info on the Sokovia Accords.
Speaking of the school, I like how at the beginning of the movie, after like the whole scene where he's talking to Tony and everything, and that we sort of just get a full day in the life of Spider-Man, from him going to school, getting out of school, putting a suit on, stopping some crimes, going home. Like, we get a full day in the life of Spider-Man, and that was really cool.
Yeah, I did like that. That one was pretty cool.
And we get the web wings. We get web wings in this movie for the first time.
We did get web wings. And, I mean, they were okay. I didn't mind the spot that they were put in.
Yep.
I actually do like the elevator rescue scene.
Yeah, it's a cool scene.
I like that scene a lot. I don't like the part where Peter's afraid of heights. Because I understand
it's fine,
it.
Because we hadn't seen him go any higher than... There's no way this Peter Parker was climbing the Empire State Building.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
he was
that.
just traversing around Queens. And it's like different when you're like at that level. It's like,
yeah, and I'm agreeing with that. But at this point, he's had the Stark Tech. He's got his web shooters full. He's literally climbed it by himself, and he's not winded. Like, he's not going to be that worried about the height. And
it's not really that he is that worried about it. It's just the immediate, like, whoa. And then he backs up and he's like, okay. And then he just turns around and he gets...
Yeah, but even that scene is, like, he's, like, being very hesitant with his webs and stuff. Like, it felt a little bit off, even for Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man in this. He doesn't have a single problem webbing onto a plane that's higher than the memorial. Like,
I mean, he has to.
I mean, he does, but he also has to climb the memorial, so... Just saying.
But, I mean, you get the scene where he's, like, on the plane and he's, like, hyperventilating while he's on top of the plane, and he's like, I'm really high.
I think that was supposed to be more of lack of oxygen. He is. He's getting kind of high up there. If it's going to be the shield tech of invisibility, it's got to be high enough that it's above the clouds. So it's going to be thin air. Droney. Absolutely hate that. Every time it's on screen, I just want to rush that.
I thought it was cool.
I don't mind it so much, but I feel like it's tech that Tony Stark would not have given him. Like, some of the other stuff, understandable. I don't agree with there being 550 billion combinations of his web shooters, but that there are different combinations of the different types of web shooters makes sense. So,
yeah, like obviously he would put in like taser webs and stuff like that.
Like I don't have a problem with that, but I feel like that.
Yeah, but 500 something is a lot. You could have just been like, you have 112 different web shooter combinations. That would have been fine. Yeah. Or even like 75 different web shooter combinations, but like 500?
It's a lot. Cause I'm trying to do the math in my head, because that'd have to be like a base level of like 20 different base web shooter differences.
Yeah.
Like, how? Like, I don't know. But it's just little nitpicky things like that. One thing I did like, the Tony Stark's line of, if you're nothing without the suit,
you shouldn't have it. And then it coming back in the end when he lifts the thing up.
Yeah.
Also, that shot too, where it's the half Spider-Man, half Peter face from the comics.
I did like that, even though it's too dark and he wouldn't have a reflection of his own face there. just
Well, I mean, now that the building's collapsed, the moonlight is kind of shining in from the...
Yeah, but moonlight's not going to give you enough for a reflection, just saying. If it's going to reflect, it's going to be the moon reflecting, so you'll have a half moon and a half Spider-Man. But
yeah, and we get a little nod to Batman in this movie. Did you catch it? When Vulture brings Spider-Man up in the sky and drops him.
Oh yeah.
You see him in the
got the wings in the moon.
Behind the moon.
Yeah,
like they did in the Batman '89.
I was thinking of the final fight, and I was like, no, there wasn't one in the final fight, and I was like,
no, he said I'm Batman in the final fight.
He said I'm Batman.
He said I am vengeance.
I am vengeance for my family. No, he didn't say that.
I'm going to robbing you.
I'm gonna rob you in your store.
I'm gonna rob in Tony Stark.
spent all day robbing.
He comes home. How was your day, honey? Oh, just been robbing today.
Oh man. The school has no security system.
No,
An inner city school with no security
There would be
system.
cameras everywhere. There'd be your metal detector at every entrance. Like, there's no way.
No.
He wouldn't even be able to make it out of the gym at his homecoming, dude. When I was at homecoming, they wouldn't let me exit the gym. They wouldn't let me leave. They wouldn't let me go to the bathroom.
Yep.
There's no way.
This is inner city, which means it's not the same. Like, he lifts the lockers. That's on camera. You've got the two guys who walk into the school, no problem at all.
They walk into the school, and one of them has a gun. That is not happening.
Then he gets back onto school grounds during the homecoming dance, which that one I can understand a little bit more because your security is going to be focused on the dance itself. Mm-hmm. So that one makes sense, but at the same time, like, he got on the school grounds twice with full-on weaponry.
Yeah. Adrian Toombs pulls a gun on a teenager.
Hey, he wasn't in the school.
Directly outside of the school with, like, 30 different kids standing right in front of him.
All the ones who can see him are on this side of him. They can't see the gun
They
on
don't
his
know.
arm.
That's why he hit it right in front of the seat, facing that way out at the kids. Literally, he's holding the gun like this, pointing at the school.
All the kids are in the school already. Peter's the only one who.
No, he gets out of the car, and while he's walking in, he passes like 15 people.
I know.
There were definitely people who saw that.
I mean, it's just they knew it was a dad dropping off of his daughter.
Yeah, they were just like, you know what, respectable.
Like,
I would do that too.
No,
if I was a dad,
I'd draw a gun on my daughter's boyfriend. Like, it's just normal.
Yeah, you
know. One thing that you brought up, and then we debated about for a while, who bought Avengers Tower?
Yep. Movie? So it is now confirmed that it was Valentina who did buy Avengers Tower. It's been remodeled into the new Avengers building and everything with the Thunderbolts. But there's no way it was Val at this point. Yeah, so who do you think?
She would have been active at Infinity War at the earliest. And it would have been after Infinity War, after everyone gets snapped. If she got snapped, it would be even later, which means not until Endgame.
Yeah, and she doesn't even get her first appearance until, I think, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. No, she shows up in Black Widow.
Yeah, she gets to show up in Black Widow.
So she was active before...
No, because that's
it would have been after... No, so she first appears in the MCU after Endgame, after Natasha dies.
Yeah. But she's active in the MCU.
Right.
Technically before Infinity Wars, but I think this would still be too early. I guess you could make the argument she was active then, but for what purpose at this point?
Yeah, why are you buying the tower?
She would
Unless
not,
she had the plan to do that already, which, if she did have the plan to do that, why did it take so long?
But don't they make a point of it that the Sokovia Accords have been repealed, which is why she's able to start the Thunderbolts in the first place? So that means she would not be active at this point, where the Sokovia Accords are very much in use.
It's a complete mystery.
Yeah. Some of the theories I saw were like the Daily Bugle bought it, or like Oscorp bought it, or something like that. Which Oscorp would make sense,
doesn't work.
But doesn't work.
And we even see it in Spider-Man Far From Home. Do you remember when we see it in Spider-Man Far From Home?
Yes, I do remember.
It's at the last scene. Yeah. He glides through these two pillars. That's meant to be Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
And then in Thunderbolts, they don't have those two beams. So what happened?
So they got removed from between Far From Home and
so they removed it between...
Maybe they were working on construction.
Yeah, so they removed it between Homecoming and Far From Home, and they added it back between Far From Home and Endgame. And Thunderbolts.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like there was a very manipulative scene for Peter Parker, and
with Aunt
May, and Aunt May is legitimately mad at him for very good reasons, and she's like, "You've been sneaking out at night. You skipped your detention at school. You've done all these other things.
You literally
missed your Washington debate club thing, like you
and then
completely
at
skipped
that
out on
Washington debate club thing, no one knew where you were, and a bomb exploded inside the Washington Monument.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like
she has a lot of really good reasons to be mad at
if
him.
you were
and
a police officer in Washington, and this school trip went up there, and there were all but 2 kids missing, Michelle Jones, who was standing directly outside of it, and Peter Parker, who hasn't been seen since that morning. You're thinking it was Peter Parker who planted that bomb, right?
Yeah.
His bully is literally on the elevator.
Yeah. But back to the point. She brings up all these problems, and she's like, "What have you been doing?" And he goes, "I lost the Stark Scholarship." And that's it. That's
not
it.
scholarship, internship.
Internship. And she's like, "That's it." And she just completely forgets. And she's like, no.
Well, I
guess it's fine.
I mean,
I guess it makes sense now. And it's like, no.
Well, I don't.
You should be really worried now.
Well, I don't think it's that. It's the fact that and they do something similar to this in Ultimate Spider-Man, where Aunt May like freaks out on Peter for skipping class, doing all this stuff. And then she realizes that when she was a kid, she dropped out of school and she went to join the hippie movement. So she doesn't have a leg to stand on when talking to Peter. Yeah. And I feel like Aunt May kind of realizes that too, because in the scene, she literally goes, "I used to be a dumb teenager once too." So that kind of implies she used to do similar stuff. Like she would skip school.
Yeah,
she would lie to her parents.
Again, as you brought up, a bomb went off.
No, I get that.
He wasn't there.
It is different, but I feel like she sees her nephew. He's in an emotional state, and you gotta understand, he's still in high school, and it's confirmed he's not a senior. So he's either a sophomore or a junior. Yeah. Very young, and he's upset. So she's not gonna yell at him now.
No, I'm not saying she should yell at him.
No, I know what
you're
saying.
Like she just completely drops it. And lets him go to homecoming. Yeah. Like no grounding, no punishment, nothing. Yeah. She's like,
and I mean, we don't know if like she talks to him about it after that either. Yeah, but she very well could have had a conversation.
If they're gonna do that, it should be in the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
She has a very legitimate reason to be upset and worried about Peter. Yeah. Like it's and he somehow manipulates her into completely forgetting it by saying 2 words. But yeah. I think there was one other thing that I want to bring up. So I think my biggest problem with this movie is his acceptance and almost dependence on Spider-Man to be part of his life. Like, there's no struggle of his secret identity and his Spider-Man side.
That's something I did also want to mention, because in the early comics, up until Spider-Man No More, Spider-Man didn't present that problem to Peter up until that point.
Yeah.
In the original...
I mean, he was still presenting problems to Peter. But
no, I understand that, but in the original
degree.
Stan Lee, Steve Ditko run, Peter never saw Spider-Man as being the problem. He always saw Spider-Man as being the solution. And that's, again, the flavor and the feel they were trying to capture inside of this movie. So I understand why they didn't do that. And we got a little bit of that more in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yes.
Where he didn't want to be Spider-Man, showing the progression, and now he's accepted that he has to be Spider-Man in No Way Home, and that's leading into Brand New Day, where he is Spider-Man.
That's my thing, is like, Homecoming, he's all in on being Spider-Man. Far From Home, he doesn't want to be Spider-Man. Brand New Day, he's going to be all in on Spider-Man again.
Well, you also have to take in the account of the other movies, because you have Homecoming, where he decides he wants to stay lower, and he wants to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man at the end of this movie. Then you get Infinity War, where he joins them on the spacefaring adventure, and then he dies for 5 years, comes back, and he's like, "My mentor is dead. I've been gone for 5 years. I like this girl. I think I'm done with being Spider-Man, to be honest with you." Which, honestly, acceptable.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying it's not acceptable. Yeah. I'm just saying for it to be his initial story is being, I'm all in on Spider-Man, like, I feel like it's a disservice to his character, especially when they are showing, oh, you drop band, you're dropping your debate club, like you're dropping... Yeah,
it's showing the unhealthy way that especially teenagers put all of their attention into one thing, whether it's school, girls, whatever, because it's a thing every teenager goes through where they feel like every emotion is the end of the world for teenagers. Like
it's like the top thing in your priority.
Yeah, and you put all of your effort into this one thing, and you don't even realize that other things are slipping until maybe years later.
Yeah.
So it's understandable why. And again, if you were a teenager and you had spider powers, why would you be doing band? You would be out there being Spider-Man all the time.
I would be, for me personally, I know I'm a very weird person. I would be way more focused on, like, I don't want anyone to know that I'm Spider-Man.
And he doesn't want anyone to know.
But, like, I would be like, my grades cannot drop. I cannot drop my extracurricular activities. Otherwise, everyone's going to be suspicious of me because I'm a very overthinking person. So I would be like, oh man, Spider-Man just appeared, and then I drop band. People are going to put 2 and 2 together. Like, that's where my mind would go.
Yeah, that's not what I would be doing. I'd be like, screw band. I'm not going to be out there playing the clarinet. I'm going to be swinging off rooftops.
Yeah, no. And I definitely understand it, but I just feel like, I mean, I guess it works, especially since now thinking of it from Civil War, he wasn't really doing too much as Spider-Man, and then Civil War happens.
It's really what happens when he meets Tony that he's all in on it, because he wants to be a member of the Avengers. He wants to be a full-time superhero, and then by the end of the movie, he realizes, oh, maybe that's not what I want.
Yeah,
that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
I don't want to be in the big events no more.
Yeah, like,
and then I'm gonna go into the big events. But
yeah, and that answers to Spider-Man's character. He doesn't want to go out and do all these difficult things, but in his heart, he knows he has to.
He keeps being drawn back into them. But again, this is a problem that I have with the writing for him in Civil War. He doesn't have the proper setup motivation for it. Like, admittedly, yes, we have had 2 origin stories for him already. We have had mentioned 2 possible origins in this.
Yeah, where we're like, what Aunt May's been through.
Yeah.
Like, it's not said, but it's implied.
Yeah. But if you're going to have a new actor portraying a new version of the character, you need to give him motivations, because if you set him up to have the same origin as the other 2, you have to abide by the rules of the motivations for the other 2.
You know what?
And that's why
I could see fixing that. I think Brand New Day could fix that. Let's say he transforms into the human spider.
So 20 years later, they're finally gonna fix.
so he transforms into the human spider, and he's trying to fight with that identity. And very similarly to the Spectacular Spider-Man show, where we don't get many mentions of Uncle Ben until that episode where he has to break free of the symbiote, we get a flashback to Uncle Ben. And he pulls Peter out of that.
I think I brought that up where I was like, Brand New
Day
could
cool.
bring in
that could be cool.
Uncle Ben rather than bringing back.
Do you have any fan cast for Uncle Ben? Because I do, and I think you're gonna like it.
Michael Keaton. No. No. If I was gonna fan cast someone as Uncle Ben, I don't know why, but I kind of wanted to just say Ben Affleck. I feel like he could pull off an interesting Uncle Ben.
You know who I would cast?
Who were you thinking?
I cannot believe I'm blanking on his name right now. My mind is literally
You're like, I got this guy. He's perfect.
Samwise Gamgee.
Oh.
Now he could play great Uncle Ben. Like, have you seen him in Stranger Things? You've seen him in Stranger Things?
Yeah, I saw him in Stranger Things. I can see that.
I think it would work.
Yeah.
Especially for Tom Holland's Peter Parker, I can see that.
Yeah, no, I definitely can see that.
Marissa Tomei would marry that guy, for sure.
Yeah, well, as much as
I dislike
that guy. As much as I
dislike the most reliable person
Aunt
ever.
May, I think that would be a good casting for an Uncle Ben.
But I think Ben Affleck could pull it off too.
Yeah, no. That was the first one that came to mind for me.
I don't think anyone beats Michael Shannon for me. He's my Uncle Ben.
Michael Shannon, I assume, is
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man one. And I know you don't like it, but I still think the Ant-Man and Uncle Ben from Tobey's is better. But
I figured one of those.
But that's more personal preference because of what I was reading when those movies came out, kind of thing. So I appreciate them more because, not even nostalgia, like just because of time frame of what I had and when I watch a movie, like it all just matched up in my mind. Because at that point,
Spider-Man Coming Home, that version of Aunt May is very much the Tobey Maguire Aunt May.
Coming Home.
Your #1 comic book storyline.
I was trying to think of a movie for some reason. I was like, Coming Home. There's not a movie named Coming Home yet. I was like trying to think of. I was like, wait a second. They didn't make a Coming Home movie, not even in cartoon form. Yeah, no, the Aunt May from Coming Home storyline, I would say looks older than Rosemary Harris in the
Which is funny
movies.
because whenever I read that storyline, I always see Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man as that version of Peter Parker.
One of the things I actually really like about that comic is the only time you really see his face is when he's at the school.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's wearing the mask like 90% of the time. And admittedly, it's for a good reason because the storyline, he's not able to take off the mask really.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. Highly recommend that comic for anyone who has not read it.
And I highly recommend our video where we ranked our top 25 favorite comic books of all time. And with that said, I think we're going to end the video here.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment.
Do you want to talk about, because we have been doing the comic book reviews, the ones that we will do during...
The comic book club?
Yeah, the comic book club. I mean, we're reviewing the comic books.
Yeah.
But the one that we will be doing around the time of Brand New Day will be Coming Home.
Yes.
So look forward to that. That'll be a great one.
Yeah.
About 2 months away.
You gonna interrupt me again?
Yeah,
I am.
Okay.
But
I gotta wait for you to start before I can...
But I'm just not gonna start. We're gonna sit here in silence.
You gotta, come on, you gotta keep going, man.